So, what really makes a family? Is it blood or is it something else? We're going to dive into a beautiful short story by Ruskin Bond that asks this exact question. And the answer unfolds not in a cozy home, but on a loud, crowded train platform. It's all about a brief, chance meeting that tells us so much about human connection. Okay, so our story drops us right into Umballa Station. And listen, this place isn't just busy. Ruskin Bond calls it an inferno. I want you to picture that, a chaotic, overwhelming swirl of people, shouting and just constant motion. It's the kind of place where you could feel completely and utterly alone, even when you're surrounded by thousands. And right in the middle of all this is our main character, Arun. He's only 12 years old, heading back to boarding school, and he's doing it all by himself. Now, his parents obviously trust him, but let's be real, he's still just a kid, waiting for a train that doesn't come till midnight in a sea of total strangers. As you can imagine, after a while, the excitement of traveling alone starts to wear off, you know? He's walked up and down the platform, he's checked out the bookstall, and now he's just sitting on his suitcase. That initial thrill of independence is fading, and what's left is that feeling I think we've all had, just bored, and yeah, a little bit lonely. And then, just when he's lost in his own thoughts, a voice cuts through all that station noise. It's soft, it's gentle, and it speaks to him with this warmth he totally wasn't expecting. This one simple question, well, it changes everything. So Arun looks up, and he sees a woman, and there's nothing flashy about her at all. He notices her pale face and her dark, kind eyes. She's just wearing a simple white sari, no jewelry, nothing. She's not trying to get anyone's attention. But here's the thing. Even with her simple clothes, Arun feels something powerful coming from her. There's this quiet dignity about her, a kind of peace in her face that makes him automatically stand up to show respect. It's a presence that doesn't need fancy things to be felt. She can see he's on his own and probably hungry, so without a second thought, she takes his hand and leads him to the station dining room. She buys him tea, samosas, and jalebis. You know, simple, comforting food. It's such a classic, caring gesture, and it immediately starts to build this little bridge between them. And as they're sitting there eating, something really cool happens. The woman doesn't really talk about herself. Instead, she just listens. She asks Arun about his school, his friends, his life, and she gives him her complete attention. And in that quiet, accepting space, Arun just opens up. And pretty soon, he completely forgets that they were ever strangers. Then, a jolt. They're walking back to the platform, and some other kid just carelessly jumps across the train tracks. The woman, she instinctively grabs Arun's arm, and her grip is tight. He sees this look of genuine fear on her face. It's a tiny moment, but it speaks volumes about this deep, protective instinct she already has for him. But this quiet, comfortable connection they've just formed, it's about to get a serious reality check. Just as they're getting settled back on the platform, another boy from Arun's school shows up, and he is not alone. This boy, Satish, arrives with his mother, who is described as this large, imposing woman, and she immediately asks if this lady is Arun's mother. Before Arun can even process the question, the woman in white just says calmly and simply, "Yes, I am Arun's mother." It's an incredibly bold and protective thing to say, and she doesn't hesitate for a second. And wow, the contrast between these two women could not be more stark. Satish's mother is loud, she's judgmental, she's full of warnings, and kind of talks down to Arun. The woman in white is the total opposite, quiet, understanding, and she actually respects that Arun is traveling alone. It's like two different worlds colliding, one built on rigid rules, the other on pure empathy. Then Satish's mother delivers that classic line, right? The one every kid has heard a million times. It's supposed to be helpful advice, but in this moment, it feels like a total judgment. It's a direct challenge to the very real, very kind connection Arun has just made. So Arun is stuck. What's he gonna do? On one side, he's got society's rules, coming straight from Satish's mom. On the other, he's got his own gut feeling about this kind woman. Does he back away and dismiss her to fit in? Or does he stand by this new bond they've made? And his answer is just perfect. He looks right at the woman who's been so good to him, and he says, almost defiantly, "I like strangers." It's such a simple, honest rebellion from a kid, but it's so powerful. He's choosing what he feels is right over what he's been told is right. He's choosing connection. So the train finally pulls into the station, and you know what that means? Their short time together is coming to an end. But these last few moments, they might just be the most powerful of all. As Arun gets on the train, he doesn't just wave goodbye. He's still a little annoyed by the other mother's attitude, and in this burst of pure, unplanned affection, he leans out the window and kisses the woman on the cheek. It's his way of making their bond real, making it visible for everyone to see. And then the train starts to move. Arun calls out, "Goodbye, mother." And right next to him, his friend Satish, who's been watching all this go down. He echoes him and calls out the exact same thing. And in that one final goodbye, the little lie becomes true. She's not just his mother in that moment, she's a mother on the platform for both of them. When it's all said and done, the story leaves us with this really powerful image of who this woman was for Arun, even if it was just for a couple of hours. She was like an unexpected lighthouse. Think about it, in that chaotic inferno of the station, that huge sea of strangers, her quiet kindness was a beacon of safety and warmth for a lonely boy. This story shows us that the love and care we call maternal isn't just about blood relatives. It can be forged in a moment through simple, selfless kindness. And that really leaves us with one final thought to take away. The story messes with our normal definitions. Is family just about who you're related to? Or is it about the people who show up for you, who listen to you, who offer you a hand when you feel lost in the crowd? Who really gets to decide?